after the fact. But if you notice here, when I put paper in there, if you're going to do construction paper or anything sizes bigger, a screen will pop up when you put paper in there, and then it'll actually say, okay, what is your paper size, or what is it? So I can hit change here, and then a screen pops up, and you have 5 million different options, of course, for paper size. So you look at the ream of paper and you say, oh, that's going to be a 140 pound stock or something like that. And then it gives you heavy 1, heavy 2, heavy 3, heavy 4. Just pick the one that it is, yes, or above it before you run it. Because if you don't do this and you run that there, or you put heavier paper in the drawers, it's going to smear on you, and it's not going to work because it doesn't know that paper is heavier than normal 8x11.
What would you typically pick? Like, what number would you like? What is it about? Like, what? I had no idea. What number I would pick.
Maybe I would pick. Let's see. Here's a thick 3. Where is it? There's so many different thick, thin 2, thin 1, thick, heavy 5, 4, 3. Heavy 3 is 56 cover to 60 cover. Heavy 2 is 35 bond to 40 bond. So I usually go by the ream of paper. I look at it, and if you pull one out, you see
they take it out.
We just see paper. There's no.
They take it out of the thing.
You did. Thank you.
Heavy one.
Okay. For cardstock?
Heavy one.
What if Lynn
cardstock.
decides to do construction paper, because she's got a different.
Then pick heavy 2.
But then if it's too heavy, will it pull more than one sheet when it does that though?
Oh, you're so smart.
No, it will not.
Okay.
It will not. Unless you pick heavy 7 or something. Unless you
the
go
same
way
grade, so-
high.
Okay.
So
I don't think it would either way.
I took a video. I'll send it to you.
So
Video.
it'll just basically what it does is it takes a little longer for it to print, and adjusts the heat of the fusing section to know to match what you're running. So I wanted to point that out, in that, and as long as you're picking something other than letter.
What was the button that you went to get to that?
yeah, what was that?
Yeah, that you said is there like a change button? Does it change?
So it pops up when I put paper in. Okay, so I just hit the change right here.
Oh, because you just when you set it there, it automatically offers
This
you that.
screen automatically comes in.
Okay.
Oh.
So set it there when you're doing something weird.
Yeah. So what I would do though is enter your code first,
Yeah.
and then put your paper in.
Okay.
Okay, and then when you hit change, the screen pops up, and like she said, heavy 1 right here will handle most stuff. I think you're going to only use heavy 1 and heavy 2. That's probably it. Maybe 3 if you got construction paper, possibly. You could use 2 or 3 probably, and that will take care of it. Other than that, you can forget all the rest, unless you're going to run something really thin through the machine. Really thin paper. It's got thin 1 and thin 2, and that's like for, normal paper is what, 20 pound a bond. You might go to 14 or 15 if it's something like wafer thin paper, but I don't even know if you'd use that. But the setting is there. That's the main thing, so that you've got a setting to use, and that to change it.
Yeah, it's 20 pound for regular.
Yeah, 20 pound. So the main screen, you've got copy, send, and that's the main ones you're going to use. You've got scan and store, or stored files. You could store a document if you wanted on here, but I don't know if you'd ever use that. But you could store a document so that you wouldn't have to go back to that document ever again, and you'd have it in the machine. And that's called storing files. Access store files, or scan and send. But the main ones you're going to use is copy and scan and send. So when I hit copy, you get this screen, and it gives you different functions. You can do two-sided if you want. You can enter your quantity over to the right here of how many you want. You can change it from black and white to, I always recommend if you're gonna do color, and I guess you probably get an allowance, you would hit auto color. You never want to use full color because full color, well, unless you got one page, it's a picture and you're putting it on the glass instead of running it through, then you can use full color. But I always say auto color is going to do the same thing, and if you get in a habit, what auto color is for is it differentiates between black and white and color, and it knows when you're running through the feeder. Say you had a 4 pages you wanted to print, only one of them's color. Well, if you hit auto color, it's gonna increment the black and white meter 3 times and the color once. And the benefit of that is for the whole school.
We get 100
Because
copies.
black and white costs a lot less money than what color is. Color is a lot more expensive than black and white. So that's why you want to, just utilize auto, and you get an allowance on what volumes you're doing. But that's hitting auto color here. Otherwise, it's default, and then you hit OK, and now it'll show on the main screen auto, black and white, and color. So that's when I'm done, and I don't need anything else. I want to do something different. I can hit reset, and it'll bring it right back. Reset's over here in the corner. It'll bring to the right of clear, and it'll bring it right back. Your other thing that you would be doing is there's a button that says two-sided. When I press two-sided, it'll automatically, and I hit OK, it'll automatically light up in gold. Now you know that feature's on. And this is similar to exactly the same as what you had before. So if you don't do nothing but hit two-sided and OK, it's going to assume you want 2 sheets of paper and you want 1 sheet of paper front and back to come out. If you want anything more than that, then when you hit the two-sided, you're going to change it from 1 to 2, which is the first one, to 2 to 2 if you already have a two-sided original and you want a two-sided copy. That's the main thing that people use it for. They don't reverse the process and say, I got a two-sided, I want 2 separate. You can do that, and it's very self-explanatory. It says two-sided to one-sided, and that would be a 2-sided document, 2 separate pages. So that's your and I'm going to reset here. So that is your 2-sided features. You're going to, from time to time, reduce or enlarge documents. There's called direct and ratio copy. When you hit the ratio copy, it gives you a variety of preset reductions to the left and enlargements to the right. So for example, if I had a larger document that is 11 by 17 and I want it down to an 8.5 by 11 piece of paper, it'll give you 11 by 17 arrow to letter as an example, and that would be a button you can press to reduce a bigger sheet down to a smaller one. But maybe you're not sure what the reduction is that you want, and you want to just play with it. You can enter in a percentage of up or down, and that simply I want 80% reduction. So I can enter in 80 and hit OK, and now whatever you put in the feeder is going to reduce it down by 80% or 20% basically. 1 minus 80. So that is your kind of your reduction and enlargements. And most of the time when you reduce, there's a drawer that's going this way, and I call it the reduction direction. And that would be this drawer, which happens to be number 3 going this direction. You can select the drawer that you want. Otherwise, it's automatically going to know by the size and pick the right drawer. But this case, you have 2 8.5 by 11s drawers. If you want, you can go to select paper, which is to the right of the reduction enlargement buttons. And you can tell it, now it shows you what's in there. I want this letter R, and hit OK before maybe I do my reducing and enlarging, and now it's going to pull from that drawer. So you can do that if you want to pick which paper and what drawer you want.
Can I ask a question?
Sure.
Last year, sometimes when I would put a page like inside the printer
Mm-hmm.
to print, it would pick the wrong size
Yes.
paper, even if it was like on a normal like 8.5 by 11. But I found that if I put it in this one, it didn't do that. So what? So
I had the same
do you
issue.
recommend one or the
I
other?
recommend you call a service call and you tell
Oh,
them and
That's
have
it,
them.
okay.
Really?
That's what I would.
Okay.
It might be. It
Does
might
it have
be.
to do with how they're orienting it on the glass?
Well,
No,
that's,
'cause we would,
Because-
I put it right in
No,
the corner
you've
like
done it
normal,
both
but
ways.
Which way are
Do
you
you-
supposed to put it?
this way, right? Like you put it in like this, right?
shoot. All right.
Well, I was
Sometimes
putting
when I
it
use a
this
switch,
way.
it's
That
Oh,
way. Well, do
Yeah.
it this way.
Because it doesn't right outside the lines,
Right.
like the markings, it'll switch. to
I've done
something
that when
else.
I've used a
They
book,
can't.
but not a
Nor-
paper.
normally,
Okay, yeah.
this
I
is the
would do that.
fastest
I would do
ANAP
that.
11 direction.
Yeah, that's yeah.
And if you go like this and there's no paper in that drawer, it's going to automatically go to the other drawer and pick it.
Okay.
So if I just go do this and I hit copy, start.
Would you recommend it on a normal basis that we start with this one?
Use the feeder, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that okay to? I was like, am I doing this? Like, is that okay to do? Like, just use that as our go-to. Okay.
So I put it in that way. Now I didn't even look to see which way it came out.
Yeah, when
I put it in that way, and I think it can rotate the image and it'll pick the top drawer.
Okay.
But yeah, the feeder is designed for multiple pages or for one page.
Okay.
This document feeder will hold up to 200 pages. And you put it in face up if you're making copies. And if you want to have multiple copies of something, like here's 2 pages, and I want to have 3 sets of this, okay, or 20 sets for the kids. All right, one thing that I haven't showed you yet is, okay, the finishing light is on. The finishing light is on, and it's collating. See where it says collate? I hit that button called finishing. I'm going to hit rotate 90 degrees and hit OK. Because now if I want 3 copies of this, so I enter 3 and I hit start. This you would use maybe quite often. There's my pages. And I don't want to have to separate out my pages. So what happens is if I hit the 90 degrees, it's gonna use both drawers to sort my document.
Oh my gosh, I just saw that one time.
Did our old machine do that?
It did.
Does this one staple?
But still, I would.
Oh, I wish
Huh?
it
Does this one staple?
This does not staple.
Okay.
Sorry.
Well, that's another job you'll be doing.
Huh?
I know.
You may
Normally
not
I have
even
the
have,
machine.
you may not even have room for a finisher.
Yeah. It is smaller than the one I was used to, yeah.
Hmm?
I had one, well, we used one like this and it was a little bit bigger and it had a staple and collator in it. So.
Oh, I love the stapler ones.
Huh? You go right across. I mean, there is an inner finisher that maybe could go in it for stapling. I can give them that option. So but here's your sets, you know, collated.
Nice.
And that's when you hit 90. If you don't hit 90, it's going to automatically collate them, but they're going to be stacked.
Right.
So you got, you have to go from the last page to the first and then separate them that way. If you forget, it'll still collate. It just won't rotate. So I'll hit reset here. And then once you hit reset, anything that's gold, that's a feature that's on, is now reset to the front. So questions at all on, okay, original type, you can, if you want it darker for some reason, or if you want, you can hit original type and you can tell it, hey, this is a printed image, or it's a photo, or it's a text, and I want to adjust it and make it darker. Density, you can go up and, dark and lighten, so you have that functionality on it. So that's the normal copying of functions. Anything else on copying that you...
No, not copying. Jam.
Huh?
So if you get a jam, does it show you where the jam is,
It
so you don't
does.
have to literally open up every single door to clear the jam?
It does.
And all the
Okay.
little buttons inside.
Yep,
Yes.
and then everything mainly for copying is on one side. For the most part, it's all on one side that you're gonna that you're gonna look for.
Is it like the other one on, if we print from our, so we set it, I
Yep.
missed a little bit.
Yeah,
We send it from here, it's gonna go into a box. Did you already go
We
over
didn't
that?
go over that yet.
we didn't go over that yet, and if, it should go in a box if they have your drivers all set up for that, it should.
We used to go to the
Last year.
the home.
The new IT.
Yeah.
If you go back
You
to the
can-
home
Is that what it
button.
is?
Yeah, you
That's
can
right.
do the same thing, you can go to hold and put it into the box,
Uh-huh,
you know, and it should go right back to that.
okay.
And
I'm sure.
you have new ones, so Aaron, I think it is. now.
Right.
He's gonna put the codes on, they're gonna redo it, they're gonna go through there and put the codes
Okay.
on. And then, each of your drivers should be put to hold, if not, I'll talk to him before I leave,
Okay.
you know, and make sure that they put it in the box. It should be, well, it's, if they add it, if, probably the old driver works with, even with this one, the one you have, and if it is, it's already, the holding, that's not a function of this, it's a function of how your driver and each of your computers
Okay.
are set up in order to get to your box.
And about the hold box, how long, because this happened to me last year where I would send stuff over and then if I didn't come fast enough, it was gone.
Yeah.
Is there supposed to
Yeah.
be a length of time that it holds it? Like, is it 24 hours? Is it 12 hours, 3 hours?
Programmable.
Oh,
It
okay.
could be 24 hours, it could be never.
Oh.
I think the old IT gentleman had a 30 days. He had
Oh,
set.
it was like a day
I
or
don't
two.
even know if it would last a day.
Yeah, it was like a day.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sometimes if I came after school, it was gone.
Yeah, it was gone.
I just assumed somebody had like.
So it's like here.
And been like,
If
oh,
we
that's not
push
mine.
this,
Oh,
like if I printed some,
maybe
or
you
I
have
did
this.
something on my
Yep,
computer and I
yep.
sent it here.
And you sent it here?
Yeah, see, there's some,
You got some already here, Jay Hawkins.
oh, there's,
Yeah, you-
So.
that's
So
her,
you're-
she said you could print it, the
Where-
Jay Hawkins,
when I
she's in
print
here
from
right
my
now.
computer,
So you have to start
It
printing.
was set to auto color. And
So
if I had any color on my computer, it wouldn't come over.
The codes aren't
because
set
I
up
was
yet.
out of my color.
Yeah, so you
Okay,
can just
that's
go
good to
in
know
and
too.
print off
Make
yourself.
sure it's set to black and white.
Is that what you
Yeah,
wanted?
okay.